Hello guys, welcome back. We're going to be drawing the dragon today. We did a trace yesterday. If you saw that live stream, thank you very much to those guys that did see it. What do you think? Thank you very much for the thumbs up as well. If you do like this video, don't forget the thumbs up. Ooh, look at the view. It's getting long enough. I think I might start painting with this soon, but it won't be on this wall. It will be probably closer to the holiday time in the winter because it's summertime right now and my son's still not here and not back. So before he gets back, I am trying to get this completed and done. He did have a Mario on this wall, on these walls, and if you track back on the other streams and the other videos, or even over on Instagram, you'll see that Mario before I actually got rid of it. And it's quite sad that it's gone, but I am enjoying doing this new room and scene for him. I'm going to be sort of trying to do this for more people as well. So if you're local to me and you know who I am, hi, I'm Blut084, BLUT084, Art and Games, formerly known many years ago as Jazz Chicken. So if you're tuning in all the way from back there from Facebook, which I do not longer have, I have now got Instagram, so definitely go and check it out there. Same name, different place. But I'm going to be listening to, instead of music, because I was getting loads of copyright strikes, and that's great fun. I'm going to be listening to some God of War, because from Comic Story, if you guys don't know who Comic Story are, they are absolutely amazing. We're going to be listening to them in a minute, and if you want a link, then ask me in the chat today. We are live, so you can give me a live chat, but I probably will go a little bit quiet today, because I'll be using reference, and I'll be drawing this. If I get in the way of the thing, then I'll try and move the camera, so that you can see better. I've sort of set things up in here a little different because the last 2 days have been of like, how am I going to do this? Where's everything going to go? Well, I've now put everything in the middle of the room, apart from the bed, because the bed was the main problem, and you saw why it was a problem. I pulled out the plug from the live stream yesterday from the internet. Well, you kind of need the internet to stream, and I didn't realise till a good distance of time, but I did make it up over on Instagram, showed you what I got up to. And so, yeah, I've been drinking coffee. It's just after afternoon, or May afternoon now. But we're in August. So, let's get this dragon done. Let's get some listening and feel inspired.
Welcome to the Comic Storian channel, where we take some of your favorite comic
Of course
books,
we are.
video games,
Shave off my pencils. Don't tell the neighbors.
We allow you to catch up on the lore of your favorite storylines and games by giving you an audio drama explaining the
Yeah, this is Comic Storian, guys. If you want to find out where they are, ask for a link, or I'll leave one down below.
Favorite franchises from the very beginning, the God of War. Many of you may have played the new God of War for the PlayStation 4, but it is actually in continuity with the rest of the series. And therefore, many of you who are younger and just picked the game up recently may not be aware of where it started, since a lot of these older games are on the Vita and the PSP and things you really can't get your hands on without buying a remastered version in the PlayStation Store. So today, we're going to start from the very, very beginning. We start with God of War Ascension.
Comic Storian, guys, best thing I've ever found to listen to while drawing something about it. It's got so many references. I'll close that window a little bit. Yeah, I need a picture of a dragon. Let's find one up.
Furious at her husband's affair and ordered him to kill the young Spartan. Yet Zeus looked down upon his lost son and chose to allow him to live. A choice that would eventually haunt him. Later, Zeus was warned by a prophecy that the gods would be destroyed by a Mars warrior looking down upon the earth. Zeus saw Deimos, brother to Kratos, born with a birthmark covering his body. Sending forth both Ares and Athena, the two gods arrived at Sparta to take down the young Deimos. Though young, Kratos tried to defend his brother, attacking the two gods. And of course, he wasn't strong enough and he was thrown aside. Ares stepped forward, his fury bringing him to kill the young Spartan, who would dare stand against the gods. But it was Athena who stayed his hand. As the gods turned to leave, the goddess turned to the stunned Kratos, offering her apologies for their actions. And in memory of his lost brother, Kratos tattooed his body, mimicking the marks that his brother was born with. Over the years, Kratos' memories of these events would fade. Time would march on. Kratos would become
a picture here of a dragon.
The Spartan army. He would take Lysandra as his wife.
Here, there's a snake as well, which I could have drawn, the serpent. So I get the dragon nice and down and small. I should better do the dragon nice and big.
Required that the child be cast aside for
hopefully, he says.
Yet Kratos wouldn't allow this, and instead set out on a quest for the magical ambrosia, which legends state can heal any wound or disease.
Okay.
Yet the Spartan did not know that.
So I'm going to try and go for something like that. Nothing like that will be there, but something like that.
Along his journey, Kratos came in contact
I'm going to cartoon yourself like I did with the Atreus, like, because there's no way I can do that. Some ice in this kind of fashion.
Finally, he found the ambrosia that was meant by the barbarian King
Over
Alfred,
here.
the champion of Hades and his whole army. Alric also sought the ambrosia, hoping to heal his dying father. The two armies met in battle, and finally Kratos was able to overcome Alric in one-on-one combat. With his army defeated, Kratos returned to Sparta, where he gained the rank of captain in the army, and he healed his daughter. As his champion, Kratos led the armies of Sparta across the known world, becoming known as a brutal leader and warrior with each victory. Then one fated day, Kratos met a foe that he could not defeat. The armies of Sparta clashed against the barbarian horde, which was once again led by King Alric. As his army fell around him, Kratos cried to Ares to save and protect him. The god of war looked down on the warrior, offering his aid for a lifetime of servitude. Kratos accepted the barbarian horde as laid waste around him. As a sign of his loyalty to Ares, the warrior was given the Blades of Chaos, twin swords that were forged from the bowels of
the wings are a lot bigger than they should have been, really. They are that big, unfortunately.
His forearms, and they burned into his flesh as a sign of Kratos' everlasting servitude to the
They
god.
are.
Kratos traveled land, serving his.
Where's my Heraeus eyes?
Destruction before him. While the Spartan was always known as a brutal warrior, under Ares' control, he quickly began to lose any semblance of the mortal man that he once was. It was one day that Kratos and his forces attacked a village, the smoke and the flames bellowing around them. Kratos smashed his way into the temple of Athena. Fury and bloodlust overtook the Spartan, and he used the Blades of Chaos to slay everyone inside. The haze of battle left him. Kratos stood over the bodies of his slain wife and daughter, their blood still dripping from his weapons. Ares had brought him here, hoping to sever Kratos' last ties to humanity by making him kill them in his stupor. Angry at the trick, Kratos cursed the name of Ares and renounced his allegiance to the god of war. Sadness filled Kratos, and he stumbled from the temple to discover the village's oracle outside. She placed a curse upon him, forcing him to wear the ashes of his fallen loved ones and see their deaths whenever he closed his eyes. From this day forth, Kratos became known as the Ghost of Sparta, his ash-white skin forever telling the story of his sins. Ares became angered by Kratos renouncing his loyalty and ordered the Furies, a group of three sisters who sought vengeance on those who would break their oaths with the gods, to capture him. However, the son of the Queen Fury and Ares, Orcus, saw Ares had tricked the Spartan warrior, and the actions taken against him were wrong. Orcus worked alongside Kratos against the Furies, pointing the warrior along a path that would reveal the depths of the Furies was the only way for Kratos to free himself of the chains of Ares. There Kratos was captured by the Furies and imprisoned with an Aegean, the fallen body of an ancient giant that had broken an oath with the god of Olympus. Kratos managed to break free, killing each of the Furies in turn and finally escaping. Once he returned to his home, he was greeted by Orcus, who revealed that he had been made the keeper of Kratos' oath. Knowing the only way for each of them to be free, Orcus offered his blade to the Ghost of Sparta. Sadly, Kratos killed his new friend, breaking Ares' hold over him. Memories began to flood through Kratos' mind, and he sees the death of his family all over again. It was Ares' power that had held the visions of the tragedy at bay, and now that his hold had been broken, his mind almost shattered by the horrors that he had committed. Stumbling from his home, he collects himself, for he is still the great warrior, the Ghost of Sparta. He burns the dwelling, destroying the last links to his past. He turns away from the glow of the flames, setting forth on a new quest to end the visions of his past and gain his revenge. And that brings us to the conclusion of God of War Ascension, the first part of our God of War catch-up series. I hope you guys enjoyed our Final Fantasy XIV catch-up series, because now we're doing God of War, while still peppering in some of the Final Fantasy XIV storylines, and also working on Devil May Cry, Life is Strange, the comic book, and the Assassin's Creed comic book series. All of these are coming from us very soon, and I hope you guys enjoy. If you do enjoy us covering some of these video game storylines alongside our movie and comic book coverage, please, I really need your support in this. Give this video a like, share it with your friends, let me know in the comments down below. YouTube's algorithm does not like what I'm doing here, but I like doing it, and I want to bring these to you. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you next time, hopefully, right here at Comic Story.
My name's Vicky Good.
My name's Graham.
I basically have my life revolving around football.
Before we swap to Adelaide, they think about
Yeah. Yeah, that Dragons. It's gonna be the textures to get that.
Frisbee on the quad? No. A pangram, or a hollow alphabetic sentence, is a sentence that contains every letter of the alphabet at least once. The most famous one that's been used as a resource to demonstrate this for 200 years is the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy duck. But that was just lame. A much cooler one that I've seen running around Twitter in the last couple of years is this. Welcome to Comic Story, where we take some of your favorite trade paperbacks and single issues, or we take the lore to your favorite video game, or the deep dive synopsis of your favorite movie or video game, and break it down into an audio drama, allowing you to catch up on your favorite pop culture elements while I pretend I know how to voice act, and you get to go on with your daily life. Today we're going to be covering a comic book that came out recently, which we don't normally do, except for the announcement of Blade. I have found it kind of a problem to find any current Blade storyline. So, today you're getting Wolverine versus Blade. Madripoor, years ago. Two men, the best at what they do, stand back to back. Blade tells Wolverine, "It's good to see you. It's been a while." Wolverine tells him, "It hasn't been long enough." Blade asks, "Are you still mad about the hypodermic that was stuck in your neck?" Wolverine yells, "It was a hypodermic full of vampire blood." And Blade tells him, "Didn't really think he was a guy who held a grudge. But funny, you should mention vampires." Wolverine tells him, "There ain't nothing funny about this bump." He swipes his claws, easily cutting a vampire's head into three. He tells him, "Okay, maybe I lied. This is a little funny." Blade cuts through another asking, "What's a nice guy like you doing in an evil temple anyway?" And Wolverine begins to tell him, "I'm doing some payback. These things killed a friend's daughter and sacrificed her in some sicko ritual." But just as he finishes, one of the vampires swings a sword, cutting off a chunk of Wolverine's shoulder. Blade lobs off another head and tells him, "This vampire cult calls themselves the Creed." As Wolverine's shoulder heals, he tells him, "It doesn't matter, they all cut off the same." He then starts to hack his way through a group of vampires by punching, slicing, and ripping apart each and every one of them until finally, there's none left. Blade asks, "Are you done?" So as Wolverine steps out dripping with the blood of those he just slaughtered, he tells him, "Yeah, just about." And so, that was the end of the vampire cult. Or at least, so the two of them thought. 6 months later, in New York City, Wolverine finds himself fighting against a mutant calling herself the Dragoness. X-Force gave him the details. It seems that she's been killing mutant and human alike. It's anyone's guess why she is in a construction site. As for what happens next, well, he doesn't really have an explanation, except one, which really isn't encouraging. Dragoness falls on a wooden stake and turns into a pile of smoldering ash. That could only mean one thing. Dragoness was turned into a vampire. What's more, there's something hidden here. A chest, one with familiar markings. What did Blade call that cult at the temple 6 months ago? The Creed? Meanwhile, over in Germany, Blade is doing what he does best, killing vampires. But Count Stod is different from the others. He can fire laser beams from his eyes, which
Laser
isn't very common
beams.
in the vampire world. However, explosive charges have never failed Blade in the past, so why would they now? As Blade presses down to the button, the Count's castle comes crumbling down on top of him. Stod struggles to free himself from underneath the pile of rubble, shouting, "I will bathe in your blood." Blade puts on his coat, telling him, "It's not looking too likely. And, you want to talk about why you can shoot freaking lasers from your eyes?" The Count tells him some colorful things. Blade tells him he didn't expect to get much out of him anyway. But this ink on his cheek looks like the Creed's. They were supposed to be wiped out 6 months ago. Stod laughs, telling him, "You wiped out nothing. We knew you were coming in."
One dragon, everybody.
As the sun rises,
Give you a zoom in on that one.
Blade smiles.
Again, we're only doing it sketchy because I am gonna paint it, so I just need outlines and colours and shapes and things to follow. Same as I do with Atreus over there. His face, his arms, his legs and such. Just lines so I can follow, but enough there so I know what kind of detail to wear and put it in. The wings are way too big, but I like drawing wings so much I don't have to suffer. I've got Kratos to draw there now. I'm not sure if I want to do a large one same as Atreus. I think I'm going to keep with Atreus, but I will have a look at a few pictures from Mimir as well in a moment. But I've got a picture for God of War already kind of that goes along with the Atreus. So I'm going to find that one again quickly on my phone.
Strange asks if he recognizes anything. Wolverine tells him, yeah, it's a picture of me fighting Blade. Later in Belize, Wolverine chops his way through the jungle to find another Kree temple. He never really liked Blade, but it's a little disappointing to find out that he's in bed with the Kree. As Wolverine walks in, Blade looks down, telling him, it's a little disappointing that my contact said the Kree Messiah was a mutant vampire. Figured to be someone like Beast or Nightcrawler. But Wolverine, he jumps down from the shadows and Wolverine spins back lunging. He blindly swings his arm, leaving him open for Blade to stab his sword right through his chest. Wolverine hunches over, but then he leans back, ripping the sword out of his chest, and Blade tells him, well, damn. Wolverine swipes, cutting Blade's face, throwing him back, but as Wolverine rushes forward, Blade throws out two special knives. Those knives lodge themselves into Wolverine's chest, and he stops. He pulls them out, asking, wait a second. These weapons, it's an anti-vampire glaive. Why are you throwing them at me instead of the vampires? Blade tells him, well, yeah, you're a vamp now. And Wolverine says, well, so are you. But, you're not Vargas, are you? And Blade says, how did you know about that? Wolverine opens up the scroll stating that this is how the Messiah's last fight was supposed to go down. Blade looks at it and says that neither of them are Vargas. This doesn't make any sense. A voice then calls out stating, actually, it makes perfect sense. It's all about how you look at it. Both men turn to see a man who looks exactly like Wolverine dressed in armor. Wolverine says, man, our line of work gets weird sometimes, doesn't it? Blade tells him, I'm actually curious who your twin is. Wolverine pops his claws, telling him, I am too. Let's go ask him. Wolverine jumps at Vargas, and as Vargas pops his bone claws, he says, those don't look familiar. Vargas then asks, what? You don't remember the huge chunk of flesh that was cut from your shoulder all those months ago? Wolverine stabs into him, telling him, no flaming way. I've left body parts all over the globe. None of them grew back into another me. Vargas tells him, that's true. But vampire magics were used in this case. Hordes of vampires begin to pour out, taunting Blade. But with one spin of his sword, he quiets them all pretty quickly. Wolverine then calls out, I have an idea. I need you to take over. Blade turns back, cutting off Vargas' claws, and then slams a stake into his chest. His body bursts into flames, but after a short period, he returns smiling. Don't you remember? I have a healing factor. Vargas swings, slicing into Wolverine's face, and Blade then tells him, that drawing was supposed to tell us how to kill Vargas. It isn't a depiction as much as a, Wolverine finishes the sentence, an instruction manual. The two position themselves exactly the way that they see themselves in the scroll. And
Oh, damn it.
at the same time,
Okay, that
Wolverine
kind of
rips
good.
into Vargas' stomach while Blade cuts off the head. His body turns to ash, but this time, it doesn't regenerate. Blade tells the prophecy was good for something, it seems. Wolverine looks up at the temple and asks, you always carry those things around? And Blade asks, what, explosives? Yeah, I'd like to be prepared. He presses the button, and seconds later the entire temple blows up and crumbles to the ground. Wolverine watches the fire, asking, hey, did you bring any marshmallows, Bob? And Blade laughs, I actually forgot. And Wolverine scoffs, you flaming amateur. And that brings us to the conclusion of Wolverine vs. Blade, a single storyline that came out conveniently the same week that Marvel was going to announce the Blade movie. So that's pretty cool. But what do you guys think about the Blade movie? Do you like this idea? Do you like the fact that we're getting a Blade movie finally?
Do you like the ideas, guys? Because I'm thinking of maybe doing an illustration after this of Blade, because of course the new announcement.
I want to see it. And don't worry, we're going to be covering the Vampire Civil War from the Avengers very soon. So make sure to subscribe to our channel so you know that that's coming out. And I'll see you next time right here.
I can't find nothing. I got a good pose, but it's like he's jumping out of the wall. I don't really want him running away. I want him going towards it. So he's like a stance pose. Oh, again, that will work actually. That would work, but where would he be standing? And again, he could be chopping Mimir's head off. I don't know if I should do that. Oh, I've just had an idea. I'm gonna have Mimir saying "just do it" with Kratos. Oh, probably didn't think there was adverts on there. Whoops. Not Minecraft, right? So look, yeah, what I was saying over here in the corner of Mimir, I'm thinking as my son walks into his room, that's the first thing he's going to see. If he doesn't look to his right, which you'll see Atreus. We'll have up on the side here, just do it, but like do it. Just do it. I think I'll have that there with a Mimir, with Kratos sort of standing sort of in this pose with, I don't know, other like his arm here going, he's going to chop his head off. I kind of like that, because I'm thinking of a pose here where he could be like, here, maybe, and then Mimir's just there in his tree, waiting for him to, again, I did, in my own personal voyage, I found the dragon form, I found Mimir. It isn't my think how he played it, because he played it way before I did, and before I got around to finishing. I haven't even finished it. He's finished the story. I think he's nearly 100% of the bloody thing as well. So I need to get on and play some of that. I should really play that maybe this afternoon, but it is Wednesday. Don't really feel like doing Witness Wednesday this week. Feel like doing something else. Maybe playing a bit of God of War, playing something else. I don't know, guys. We'll have VR tomorrow, as always. But today, I don't know what I should do. Because I want to do all this. Trying to get all this done. It takes me longer than I thought it would, which is just, oopsie. Let's find some more God of War, Thor, something like be more inspired for this. God of War Origins, I'm sure he's done more than that, but no. Visit channel, that'd be a good idea, instead of looking at the videos. So the Eternals.
Let's hear it for the quitters. In the UK, more than 1,000 people quit every day.
Not me though.
Welcome to Know Your Universe,
I know
the
it's
series
about
right here in
making,
Comic
but-
Story, where we basically just bring information
Right.
that is a little bit harder to come by.
What do I want
We
you to
explain
do about
characters
here,
and
I reckon?
plot lines within comic books, giving you a general idea as to what is happening so you understand your universe. Hence the Know Your Universe title. Now, recently, the MCU officially announced the Eternals movie. We've known about this for quite a while due to the rumor mill, but I was waiting to make this video until they officially announced it, just in case it turned into another Inhuman debacle. So today I'm going to explain who the Eternals are and what their publication history is, so that you have an understanding as to what is this whole entire thing that they're making again. Created in 1976 by Jack Kirby, the Eternals first appeared in Eternals #1 that same year. According to their history, the Eternals were created by the Celestials as a means to protect their other experimental race, the humans. Like many of Jack Kirby's creations, the Eternals combined the idea of science fiction with mythology. After the cancellation of his work on the New Gods at DC Comics, Kirby returned to Marvel and he started the Eternals. The series would run from 1976 through 1978, when it would unfortunately be canceled, leaving much of Kirby's plot actually unfinished. The series would return in 1985, only to be canceled again in 1986. For 20 years, the Eternals would remain dormant, except for a few one-shots and miniseries, until they were revived in 2006 by Neil Gaiman for a 7-issue miniseries that saw them reintroduced into the Marvel Universe. A second miniseries titled The Eternals Manifest Destiny would appear in 2009. Now, unlike many other Marvel properties, the Eternals have never appeared in any other medium, anything of other than common.
What's going on with that? Lots of
It
visuals.
was announced in April of 2018 that the film The Eternals would bring these ancient beings into the MCU. The film is now set to premiere in 2020 and stars Richard Madden, Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek, and Kamal Nanjiani. But now the question is, who are these characters? Well, long ago the Celestial
Okay, I'm going to skip this video.
descended upon Earth. They're
Sometimes the tablet can't handle all the visuals it goes on to. It's quite an old tablet. I've moved everything around, so I don't have my normal setup. Yeah, yada, 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 too. Don't care about you. I'm on baby. What's this now?
Avengers Endgame has come
Ah.
and gone, and phase 4 will soon be upon us. The long-awaited solo Black Widow film is set to release in 2020, directed by Kate Shortland. David Callahan's Shang-Chi is set to follow, and every other week it feels as though we hear of a new TV spin-off headed toward...
Try that.
Welcome to the Comic Story channel, where we take some of your favorite trade paperbacks and graphic novels, and we break them down into digestible bites, giving you an audio narrative. Here we bring the lore of your favorite comic books, video games, and movies, and we tell you exactly what is happening, allowing you and still have an idea as to what is happening into the things that you love. Now, the War of the Realms is an event happening in Marvel Comics, in which the realm of Asgard has fallen, and the 9 other realms are at war with each other on Earth. Our heroes have backed off, and have all gone to various other locations, including Lady Freya, guarding the Black Bifrost, and many of our heroes going on strike teams to do things like recover Thor and bring him back to the battle. We have all of the videos that involve various tie-ins and strike forces and core plot points in the playlist down below. But now it's time for me to tell you the story of War of the Realms, Issue 4. The ruins of the once beautiful capital of the Light Elf realm crumbles around them, with the survivors moving amongst the ruins, with Sir Ivory Honeyshot trying to guard his queen. Sir Ivory, the queen says, turning in the energy that she senses. Get behind me, my queen. He orders, drawing his twin pistols. Yet she shakes her head, drawing her blade instead, ready to stand in defense of her people. Dark energy surges and a man steps through. Hold your fire. I'm no damn elf, Frank Castle growls. He stares down at the barrel of Honeyshot's pistol. He doesn't have time for this. Thor's mom sent me. He looks around at the small group of survivors, broken and defeated. He knows that they've lost everything at this war with Melican. You want payback? Follow me. Right to the war. On the remains of Asgard, the defenders of the Bifrost have failed. Amongst the destruction that was the Rainbow Bridge, Daredevil fights alongside Jane Foster and Heimdall to defeat the remaining Dark Elves. When finally the last elf falls, apologies, Heimdall. I've proven a poor guardian of the Rainbow Bridge. Daredevil states, his shoulders slumping. No worse than I, Lord Daredevil. The god states, knowing that the most important thing is that the strike teams have been dispatched. Yet Jane worries, because now there is no way to bring them home with the Rainbow Bridge destroyed. Over on Splatterheim, Lady Freya stands over the fallen Bitterhead, the former guardian of Melica's Black Bifrost. The energies of the Black Gate sword swirling around her. I have seen the last blackened breath of life withering in your lungs, Bitterhead. She growls, her words like living shadows. Her eyes glow with the power of the gate, and she sees every black horror throughout the 10 realms of every wicked act of this diseased war. I see more Dark Elves dying here today. She turns to She-Hulk and continues to fight the advancing elves, ordering her to leave with the rest of the team. Hulk not leave She-God alone! She cries, her fist finding under the skull. Freya dances amongst the elves, her dark blade biting through their flesh. She knows the She-Hulk will not abandon her, and so she uses her new powers to send in dark tendrils, wrapping around the Hulk body, pulling her through the Black Bifrost. Do me a favor and tell my son that his mother loved him, like lightning loves thunder. The Dark Elves advance, seeing now that there is merely only one fighter. How many Dark Elves do you think that one goddess is worth? She asks, magic in her eyes. Hundreds? Thousands? All of you? Keep coming until you have an answer. In the Dark Realm, the elves advance. Freya has sent her strike team to gather allies for war, with She-Hulk arriving in the realms of the Doors, bringing tears to their eyes with her motivational speech. Elaine travels to Vanaheim, gathering the reclusive Vanir gods, leading them to the portal. Ghost Rider travels to the realm of the dead in his Hell Charger, leading a pack of giant angry spiders behind him. Just when I thought my life couldn't get more metal. Over on Jotunheim, Captain America and his strike team have found Thor, dragging his wounded body back through the swirling gate to Midgard. The team makes its way back to Avengers Mountain, yet the inside of the dead Celestial is deserted. Outside, T'Challa is fighting alongside Thor, and apparently over the Celestial's fingers as they do battle with the fire goblins. The frost giants scale the base, hoping to bring it down from above.
Sorry, I just got nothing. I'm
Shuri
doing
stands
that.
before a
Sorry,
massive
but-
computer system, preparing the base's defenses.
Oh,
The Black
now.
Panther orders her to open fire. Then outside, energy beams erupt from the Celestial, turning the armies of Malekith to ash. Captain America turns to his team, ordering them to get Thor to the infirmary. Before he can figure out the status of the other teams, though, he is interrupted by the bellows of anger from the hall. Wednesday! Where in the bloody hell is my wife? Blood dripping from Odin, the God King's body as he glares angrily with his one good eye. Freya is fighting on back in the Black Bifrost, though, with the bodies of fallen elves creating a mountain beneath her, as the dark energy is swirling around her. But meanwhile, across the world, the War Avengers are fighting for it. The forces of Midgard are doing their best to defend their lands, as fighter jets scorch past the Statue of Liberty with missiles firing at the frost giants. Elsewhere, Malekith looks into the sky, smiling. All of Midgard is at war, all thanks to me. You're welcome. He grins, turning back to his prisoner, the symbiote, known as Venom. The creature's form shifts as he tries to elude Malekith's magic, yet it is held fast. Pain sears through its body as the dark elf hits it with even more magic. Malekith knows that the symbiote is merely a weapon, meant to kill gods. He laughs. Bitterhand, send me some more wide wenches when I tame this beast. His smile drops briefly as he looks up and receives no answer. Bitterhand. Odin, meanwhile, can barely stand, yet his voice is strong as he looks at the heroes of Midgard. Tell me this isn't true. Tell me my wife was not left alone in the very home of the Dark Elves. He growls, Frank Castle stepping forward. It was her mission, her orders, he tells him. But Captain America doesn't believe that she is lost. They can still go through the open portal and bring her back through. But Odin knows that they cannot pass the portal if Freya does not want them to. Cap refuses to accept that. There has to be a way. I said a lot of you couldn't. Odin explains, turning back to the heroes and murder in his eyes. But none of you are the All-Father. Someone bring me my spear. I've got something better than a spear, Tony Stark states as he walks into the room, Screwbeard the dwarf at his side. Some of us built you an early Father's Day gift. Screwbeard did all the work. You would mostly talk about self. The dwarf adds, enough talk, Stark. Whatever the hell this is, it's better be good at slaying elves, the All-Father states. Freya, meanwhile, is screaming as she swings her blade, felling the final Dark Elf for the moment. The bodies of the fallen lay beneath her, and the armies of Malekith prepare for another assault. She can sense it, though. The success of the strike teams and the return to Midgard. There's only one thing left to do, she says, turning her attention to the dark gate behind her. Destroy the Black Bifrost and end this. Raising her weapon, the Queen of the Gods prepares to strike when suddenly a dark blade slides through the portal, stabbing her in the chest. Did you really think it would be that easy? Malekith asks as he steps through. You might hold that sword, but this is still my realm, he says with a sneer. Freya tries instead to swing her sword into Malekith, but the blade that pierces her is the weapon of a symbiote. It morphs and shifts, it's slashing her over and over. Malekith turns away forward and he orders his men to feed her to the dogs. Dark Elves of Spendenheim! A voice booms the Black Bifrost. Get the hell away from my wife! Odin bellows, now clad in the new armor given to him by Tony Stark. Energy blasts come out of the gauntlets, cutting through the gathered elves. With Freya struggling to stand, the symbiote still piercing her, Odin orders her to leave, yet she will not. We are taking away Malekith's greatest weapon, his Black Bifrost, she states firmly, despite her wounds. I was afraid you'd say that. The two gods stand back to back, energy blast punctuating every slash of Freya's blade. I'll see you in hell, Freya. and kiss you like you've never been kissed before. Odin cries to his wife. She then brings down her weapon with all of her power, splitting the stones of the black Bifrost. Malekith turns, his weapon reforming in his hands as fear and anger play across his face. Stop them! Stop them! Don't let them destroy the Bifrost! He orders. The stones crack as Freya drives her weapon deep, with Odin's energy blast covering her, doing as much damage as they can. When finally, the world crumbles around them and the two gods embrace. Freya pulls her husband in close as the dark energy begins to leave her. Forget Hel. Kiss me now, you fool, she tells him. With that, the Black Gate explodes. Back on Midgard, Frank Castle stands in the Avengers Armory with a detachment of light elves. We want all of these that you can carry. The bigger the better, he tells them, sweeping his arms to indicate all the guns on the wall. Stand aside, please. A voice struggles from behind them. Of course, my lord. The elves answer, stepping aside and bowing, as Thor jumps into the room. Sorry about your family, Frank tells him. And for him,
sharing information through documents is vital for today's organization. Fox Effects PDF empowers knowledge workers to build better smart documents by providing a full solution that supports the complete document life.
Now the portal closes.
brief moment, an almost human emotion reflects in his eyes. Thor reaches out, grasping the arm of the destroyer. In the war room, Jane Foster stands at the table laying out the battle plan. They are sick of this war. Sick of these invaders. Jane offers that they should take the fight to them. With the Avengers in the lead, she starts, but is interrupted by a voice that now vibrates with strength. Nay! There is only one who will lead this fight, and his name is Thor, God of Thunder. He states as he enters the room, now fully armed. Across Midgard, the rumble thunders. The hard and angry rain begins to fall, and soon will come the lightning, and the hammers will follow. Meanwhile, back with Daredevil, his eyes glow with Asgardian magic. Once he can hear every scream within New York City. Now armed with the sword of the power of Heimdall, he can hear every scream in existence. Most of the 7 billion people on Earth are screaming right now as the war rages on. Then we shouldn't be wasting any time. We need to get back to Midgard. Why did you drag me out here, Daredevil? Thor asks, pacing across the deck of the longboat as the sun crackles behind them. Daredevil looks over his shoulder at Thor, telling him that the screams of the people of Earth aren't the ones that they need to listen to. They aren't the ones that will end this war. There's another scream right here. Can't you hear it? He asks. Thor turns to answer, but is shocked as the longboat drifts towards the ancient tree that springs from the sun as if by magic. Yggdrasil, the world tree, a seedling that was growing on Asgardia when it was cast into the sun, it now grows. You seek an answer, God of Thunder. Some answers demand a price. Daredevil intones quietly. Thor joins the man without fear at the railing of the longboat, staring up, waiting for the answers on how to win this war. Finally, he hands off his axe. Take my axe, devil, but be prepared to hurl it with all your might and nail me to that tree. He orders it before slinging his hammer and flying into the sky. He asks only one more thing of his comrade. Ignore my screams. Meanwhile, over Wakanda Midgard, the warriors of Wakanda fight as the armies of heaven descend upon them. Damn these please! When will they learn to grovel before their queen? The queen of heaven curses as she watches her warriors die. But Okoye stands before her, and the warriors Sif, Hildegard, and Angela at her back. There's no word for grovel in our language, and there are 23 for fight, and you will learn them all. Welcome to Wakanda, she states as she drops into the battle stance. She leaps from the Asgardian longship spear first, launching towards the Queen of Heaven. Black Panther flies by in a Pegasus, clipping the wings of the angels as he broadcasts orders over the battlefield. Below them, Frank Castle looks up, a squad of heavily armed light elves with him. Don't aim for the wings. They can still fight without those, but they can't do much of that ahead. Yet the light elves have been at war, and they have no need for lessons in how to make war. And they open fire. Above them, the lightning crackles and it sparks, bringing down the energy of the heavens, with storms lashing out across the world, aiding the great battle. And over on the coast of Uruguay, the lightning strikes, blasting away the risen dead. Enchantress stands bored as her zombies pile atop the Ghost Rider, but his hellfire burns brighter, and he throws them away. Nearby, Doctor Strange and Balder lash out at the zombies while driving in the Hell Charger of Ghost Rider. Spider-Man swings into battle, leading his new army of Hell Spiders, who follow their new leader with glee. In Australia, Ulick the Troll staggers as another blow from the Hulk and her mighty hammer cracks him across the jaw. Now this is my idea of a Lady Thor, he crows. When I'm done conquering this beautiful and barren land, you'll be my queen. Thunderhawk, no lady. Stinking Troll, no king. The battle rages, and Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Deadpool, and Daredevil fight amongst the trolls. And over in Antarctica, the war rages. Communications are restored as Roxxon is stopped. The Minotaur, Dario Agger, is brought down by Roz Solomon and Jane Foster, with the two women piercing his chest with vibranium bullets in the spear of Odin. Later on Asgard, Jane Foster lands, and before his stand Heimdall. Even here, they can both hear the screams. It's Thor, isn't it? She asks. He's searching for answers inside of the sun. Way to beat Malekith's challenge and defeat him. Heimdall turns, his all-seeing eyes following Jane as she crosses the field, knowing what she plans to do. Please do not do anything rash that would risk the health that you have fought so hard to regain. But Jane knows who fought hard. Brunhilde and the other Valkyries. All of those that have given their lives to this war. She stares down at the shattered remains of the hammer of the war Thor. The Thor from the dead multiverse. Meanwhile, over in Shanghai, Captain Marvel is fighting goblins in the sky while the other heroes fight in the streets. Welcome to the Warriors 3, Sir Wolverine! Hogan cries, turning to Logan as he lets out a scream of berserker rage, driving his claws through another goblin. Can we keep him? Central asks. At Manhattan, Iron Man fights the skies with his new squad of War Machine doors at his back, while the Fantastic Four do their part in the streets. In London, it's Captain America and Captain Britain fighting side by side as the War of the Realms rages across Midgard and Malekith's great war machine shudders. There's a great storm brewing above the skies of every battlefield, and great cracks of lightning lash out from the heavens, aiding the heroes of Midgard. Thor is suddenly there, all lightning, blood, and Uru. He bellows, and his words are like thunder. Malekith! Where is that bastard hiding? It was then that Malekith gave forth his challenge. The symbiote curling around him as he issues his challenge to Thor, standing amongst the great Stonehenge. Only Thor can pass the magical barrier that Malekith has raised at Stonehenge. Odin cries out, trying to warn his son, but his words turn to pain as the dark elf lashes out with his symbiote. Do hurry, Thor. I swear I will write the last chapter of this war with you. It was this challenge that forced Thor to nail himself to the World Tree, to seek a way to defeat Malekith's challenge. The searing heat of the sun licks at his body. There must be a way! Thor mumbles before another scream of pain racks his body. But back at Asgard, Jane Foster reaches down for the shattered remain of the hammer of the War Thor, because there must always be a Thor. Sometimes, there must be more than one, she says quietly, as lightning crackles around her, and she screams as the power fills her. Talk about a cliffhanger, huh? I hope you guys are enjoying our War of the Realms coverage, and we will be concluding it next week. So please consider subscribing to our channel, turning on that little bell with a notification. And if you really did enjoy this, you can always give a comment down below, give the video a like, and I'll see you next week right here at the War of the Realms.
I mean, it's not great. It's not great for God of War picture, but it's good enough, again, for like a reference for what I want to start painting. What I want to do. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get it like super evil dark. God of War, I'm going to cut your fucking head off. But I can do my best. So we've got a dragon in there. We've got Atreus. We've got the three characters that I aim to do. The main characters. On this side of the wall, as my son will be looking at this, because there, round about here is where his telly is going to go. So I'm not worrying too much about the body, but I will need, obviously, have to have like some form of God of War there. I mean, I've scrunched up the arm there. I probably could put the arm down a little bit more here. I just didn't want to go over to the other side of the wall, just because I just didn't want to go over there, really. And again, he could be holding his chain around about here. So he's holding his chain here. And the chain is going down. He's holding the axe or something. I can't really remember the shape of it, but something like this. You won't really see it, but I feel like it needs to be in there. as he's calling for his axe. And in the game, you can't actually have two weapons at once, or not that I know of just yet. I'm not all the way finished, but I'm pretty much there at the end of the game. Still in the mess to finish off playing it. I did build one of these in VR, actually, the Blades of Olympus. No, that's the wrong thing. I did. I'm putting the curls in. Yeah, I did do. What did I do? I did something. Yes, that's that. I don't know what I was saying to you about doing something. If you do know what I was saying, let me know in the comments live. My brain is working at 10 right now. Let's start doing my mare. So we've got this area sketched out and ready, so I can think about the paints. Today I'm really going to kind of concentrate on just sketching the whole sort of room and getting it done itself. Like I said, I've got the golden wall there. I'm trying to incorporate with myself here. I've tied it up because I was painting, and when I'm drawing, it gets in the way a little bit. When I'm painting, I've dipped it and dipped my paint. That's why I've given the idea of the paintbrush. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Probably like again closer to November time and things like that. So if you keep tuning in. If you like this, guys, don't forget to leave a like. And if you want to hear some things while live, let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, if you're watching back, thanks for doing that. And again, thanks for those likes. Leave one if you do. I'm gonna have a slurp of coffee and have a go. I did start painting. I did paint that one. And eventually it will be finished off. That was me testing out what my sort of area, what I'm able to do with different colours and tones. Unless I know Kratos isn't the right colour, but yeah, I was gonna hang that somewhere. That one obviously can't go there, but over here on the side it could. And again, I might just hang that somewhere for myself. And then again, thinking about it again, I could just hang it there. But then that covers up Mimir himself. And that's what I don't want to do, because we're doing Mimir next. Hopefully there isn't too much light coming in and wrecking what I'm doing. So I might have to move. No, I won't get to move the camera. Well, I can't turn out the light because I need that light to see, because yesterday we ran out. And hang it there then. It should be okay-ish. Right. Let's see how much light it's actually affected. Oh, you've got so much light back. Okay. So seeing doing that might be a problem for you to be able to see. Oh no. Then again, you might have been having the same problem all the way through. I don't know. I can kind of see what's going on.
Welcome back to the War of the Realms, right here at Comic Story, the channel where we take some of your favorite comic books, video games, and movies, and we break them down into digestible bites, allowing you to get an audio drama of your favorite comic book pop culture characters in whatever light they may be. Recently, we've been covering the War of the Realms storyline, and as a part of that, we've been telling some of the key tie-in issues and how it relates to what is going on in the overall War of the Realms event. Well, today, we're going to be telling you what Iron Man did before he got involved in the War of the Realms. How did he find out about this battle in New York that he needed to go be a part of? And if you enjoy this, please consider going to our Patreon, where you can become a Comic Story and Premium member and get early access to many of our videos, 3 days or more. Some of those videos come out months in advance over there, along with many other tiers for you to enjoy if you want to be a part of the Premium membership. Either way, let's give you guys War of the Realms. Iron Man. The frost giants look up into the dark, icy night air of Jotunheim as a purple mist streaks through the sky. The mist swirls, finally landing, and as that magic dissipates, the mist drifting away reveals Melikath the Accursed. Fell elf. A voice hisses from the darkness, every word the sound of flames cracking over the roaring fire. Now why, after so many centuries of slumber, do I smell elf? Wide grin spreads from Melikath's evil features as he stops before the dark jaws of Sotorang. He wishes to implore the ancient dragon for his aid in this war. Only one realm still remains free of the Dark Elves' grasp, and he would wish that Sotorang would take care of a single man for him. If this foil is so aggressively insignificant, why don't you lance it yourself? The dragon asks. He's clad in iron, Malekith explained simply. Yet Sotorang merely chuckles at the elves' plight, for iron is the ancient weakness of the Dark Elves. Finally, Malekith bowed for the mighty feast. He has gold, mountains of it. The dragon's great eye finally flickers open as he peers into the dim light of the cave. Gold, you say? Very well. I shall see him crisped. The mighty dragon runs his claws around the bed of treasure that he sits upon before hearing back. Where is the golden knight you speak of? Earth, within the bowels of the forge.
You can't see shit outside my window. So I'm gonna have to leave you there, I think. Staring at that.
I'm still trying to think of a name that won't give
Oh,
you
no,
trouble.
there you go. Kind of see that now. Cool.
Brody just shakes his head. He knows what it is, but doesn't understand it.
I need to
Tony walks
get
through the
my hair
lab
up.
as his drones finish the final details of the bot. He pulls the golden crown off of the Hulk bot, trying to explain. I built this for Bruce, so that when he starts to rage, when his power starts to come out, it'll calm him. The crown is designed to control one's emotions. Are you sure you built this for Bruce, Tony? Brody asks, staring at his friend. The billionaire pauses for a single beat. Doesn't matter. The two friends begin to discuss the merits of the bot and of Tony's drone building more robots, but Tony thinks Brody should just lighten up. Suddenly, the Hulk bot comes to life, smashing everything around them. What am I? What am I? It screams as its massive fists tear apart everything around its existential range. Shut it down! Tony screams, but the bot is suddenly overriding its own safety protocols and the drones can't shut it down. Bring me a gauntlet! He yells at one of the drones and the little bot floats off quickly. The Hulk bot wraps its massive hands around Tony, ripping him from the ground. Luckily, the drone is there, placing Tony's Iron Man gauntlet on his hand. The beam shoots out, destroying the Hulk bot's head, dropping it to the ground. The two friends pull themselves free of the rubble around them, with Rhodey pointing out that is why tech building tech is a bad idea. He's also worried that Tony is holding a crown that modifies behavior and won't put it down. Tony looks down at the piece of tech in his hands, and Rhodey knows that he had a drink in the virtual world during the Escape adventure. The videos you can find down below on the Tony Stark list. The one that he was trapped in and is looking for more dangerous fixes since he got back out into his own cloned body. Downstairs in the lobby, the security hologram activates, asking for the name and purpose of the visitor who strolls in. A staff with a flaming tip in his hands. I am Soren, devourer of the flocks, lord of the wind and sky, and I am here to see your master. The ancient dragon, now in a human form, simply states, I am afraid that Mr. Stark has left for the day, Mr. Flocks. The hologram answers with a beaming smile, but Sotorang merely shrugs off the issue, asking where the man keeps his gold. One of the security guards comes walking over, telling the strange man to leave, but Sotorang lifts the man off his feet, choking him. I ask again, where does he keep his gold? He growls, his eyes flashing. I don't know, maybe Wall Street? The guard chokes out his answer. Meanwhile, Tony is flying across the city skyline in his car. Knowing that his friend is
again, it's really hard to find him.
his current girlfriend doesn't answer her phone and it goes right to voicemail. Janet, it's me. I'm kind of having a rough day. Call me? He tells her before hanging up. The rest of the guards go rushing out with the guns trained on the strange man. Drop to your knees and put your hands over your head or open fire, one of them yells. Sotorang peers around the weapons trained in him. My knees, how dare you? He growls, suddenly his body twisting and warping from the man to become the mighty dragon before them. Sotorang bows for no man nor God. You wish my forbearance. You shall have none of it, nor my mercy. The dragon loops back, taking in a massive breath before roasting the guards in a blast of scalding fire. Brody runs into the security room, asking what the heck is going on to Bethany, the head of security. 3 casualties so far, no Jocasta, no Stark on premises. She tells him as she orders the security details to back off on the dragon. Brody stares at the images on the cameras, finally turning to leave the room. He plans on fighting fire with fire. Myth with myth. Is anyone gonna armor up? The head of security asks. The cat turns. Dr. Shapiro reporting for duty. Suit me up. Meanwhile, the dragon is crawling alongside the outside of the building, crying for House Stark. Beth, Bethany comes over asking why the drones are defending the building. One of the tech points at the screen, and the computers run the drones, and the computers all suddenly speak Latin. The building groans and crumbles as Soderang smashes it with his fist. I will burn your squabbles, don't face me, you coward! Quit yelling, you old school guys, you freak! Rhodey yells as he zooms in with his Manticore vehicle, firing weapons at the mighty dragon. The missiles impact Soderang's head, stunning the creature briefly, yet he swoops his wing like a blade, knocking Rhodey out of the sky. The Manticore crashes into the ground with Soderang quickly following. May you gods find you unrecognizable for your journey to Valhalla. He cries as he swings in for the attack. But he's blasted out of the sky as Dr. Shapiro suddenly jumps into the battle in his cat armor. The cat fires, but Soderang merely shrugs off the assault, breathing magic fire into the cat's armor. And suddenly he stops. The voice rings out behind him. Hey, Falcor! Hands off the pussycat! Tony yells as he roars in with his armor, punching the dragon in the side of the head. The blow knocks Soderang across the courtyard, causing the ground to shake as he tumbles. You're trespassing, Toothless! There's a hefty fine for that. He jokes as he slams the beast with another blow, adding strength to his armor, knocking Soderang around. The dragon swings its wing, knocking Tony away again. I will have your captain and your corpse! Tony struggles back to his feet as the dragon rushes forward, ready to die, Mortem. Pass! Never repeat a good trick. I plan to kick your scaly rear like I did Bang Bang Boom a week ago. Tony mutters as he gets back to his feet. Hearing those words, Soderang suddenly stops short. Hold. You defeated a Boom? He asks, disbelief in his voice. He turns, seeing Tony's allies coming to his aid. I underestimated you, Morton, and I will return with the proper spells and leave you with the curse of wisdom. He breathes before taking to the air, flying away. Oh, and I didn't get you anything, Tony says as he watches the dragon fly away. The group finally arrives with Rhodey asking if he plans on following the villain. Let's kindle the lizard, Tony states, preparing to give chase, but he suddenly can't, and everyone is surprised as his armor suddenly begins to glow with magical energy. Later, Soderang stands at the street corner in his human disguise once again, his eyes watching Wall Street. He walks up to the building, stopped by an armed guard. Hold on a minute, sir. Can I help you? Soderang rears back, fire starting to break out of his hair and hands. Tell your masters an idea for my $30 trillion. Hurry, morsel, before I get hungry. Back at Stark Unlimited, the group is staring at Tony's armor. Cracks begin to form as strange magical energy is leaking out. Bethany tries to help her boss, telling him that they think that the dragon affected the AI with magic, which is directly linked to my armor. Tony finished for her. He looks at his instruments, and their HUD is glowing purple, filled with arcane symbols. Believe it or not, it's actually worse on the inside, he jokes. Suddenly, everyone stares in wonder as the armor begins to shift and morph. Oh, for the love of Dumbledore! Tony cusses as he's suddenly standing in medieval armor, his repulsors glowing with arcane symbols. Rhodey keeps looking at his friend. Tony, we gotta track Soderang. Can you still function? Sarge shifts, trying to get a feel for how the armor has changed. Magic is just a system, right? It has to have coding. So he turns, raising his gauntlet, trying to shoot a repulsor. The air sizzles around them and suddenly frogs are raining from the sky. I think you missed the line of the program, Stark, Bethany says as she brushes frogs out of her hair. It's raining frogs, Rhodey points out. I can see that. Thank you, Team Obvious. Tony lifts the visor on his armor as Rhodey tells him that he should stay behind. If he can't control his wardrobe, he's nothing more than a liability. But Tony turns to see the EMTs picking up one of the fallen guards from Soderang's attack. Now, Hex or Tech, I'm caging that beast for good, he says. The visor snaps closed and Tony lifts into the air on a magical current. Energy wings sprout out of his back as he swoops into the air. He tries to call his girlfriend Janet again, but he gets her voicemail again. Janet, sweetie, I could really use your moral compass right now, he says as he flies to the city. But within Wall Street, the brokers all stare in confusion as the screen suddenly flickered and changed. Strange words and Latin phrases begin to play across them. Suddenly the building quakes as the mighty Soderang crashes into the wall. I've come from the frozen caves to take the king's court.
Yeah, oh, they just do it! Okay, right. So we've got Kratos, we've got the dragon, we've got Mimir, we've now got to do the tower on the Bifrost side of thing, which is going to be God of War tower. It's not going to be the tower you know of. So I'm going to move some stuff around. So I'm going to leave you here, guys, and I'll come back in about half an hour or so. So don't forget to hit subscribe if you're watching live, or if you've watched back, don't forget to wait to the end of this video where there should be a link to the next part, or the beginning of where we started, or just something VR or something else that I get up to. Don't forget to check all the playlists. My name's Blut084, BLUT084, Art and Games. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in a moment.